public safety members. Thank you, dear Lord. Continue to shed their blessings upon them. We also, dear Lord, ask you to look after Mrs. Jameson and the death of her husband. He was an icon of Appomattox, and we ask that you bless the family. Also, I just learned that we have a member of this board that is in doctor's care. Don't know what for, no details on it, but bless him and his family. We ask that you bless each one that's here tonight, show us our way back home. All this we ask in Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If I could ask you to remain standing, we'll have a moment of silence for Mr. Jameson and his family. Okay, you may be seated. Okay. Next is setting the agenda. Is there any changes or deletions to the agenda? If not, accept a motion to approve the agenda as set.
So moved.
Reverend Jones is,
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
can we remove the closed session at the end of the meeting?
Sure.
Before you approve the agenda?
Reverend Jones, would you like to amend your motion to include removal of the closed session on the agenda?
So moved.
All right, Mr. Jones has moved that we approve the agenda with the omission of the closed closed session. Is there a second? Mr. Hips has seconded.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add an item to the agenda.
Let's see. Trying to think what Robert does, because we have
Well, we can amend the agenda as written, and with Mark.
because we have a motion that's been seconded to approve the agenda.
That motion is primary, so it needs to be dealt with first. Unless the gentleman wishes to revise.
Mr. Chairman, I rescind my second.
Mr. Carter, what?
Mr. Chairman, rest of the board, I'd like to add an item to the agenda regarding nurse practitioners. A proclamation has been put out, a resolution rather, has been put out in the surrounding counties. All of the surrounding counties, including the town of Appomattox, has graciously approved this. And I think it's well worth it. There's no question about it. And I think we need to join our neighbors in regarding to this. So I ask that this be added to the agenda. Nurse practitioner proclamation.
Do you have a copy of the proclamation, Mr. Carter?
Let's see. Yeah.
This is one we have for the board book.
Yes, all right. Thank you. That's in the board book.
No, we had prepared it.
Oh, huh.
All right, is there a second to Mr. Carter's motion to add the resolution for nurse practitioners to the agenda?
So moved.
Reverend Jones has seconded that. All in favor of adding the nurse practitioner resolution to the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next is up is the motion to approve the amended agenda, which includes adding of the nurse practitioner resolution and deleting of the closed session. Is there a motion to do that?
So moved.
Mr. Carter's moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Hips has seconded. So on the motion to approve the agenda with the omission of closed session and addition of the nurse practitioner resolution, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I guess we'll put the agenda in number 7 of the action items. Okay, next up, citizen comment period. This time is provided by the board to allow the citizens the opportunity to address the board on issues of importance to the citizen. No individual citizen shall be permitted to address the board for more than 3 minutes. Is there anyone signed up to appear? Nope, there hasn't. All right, let's go up into appearances. This is scheduled times provided by the board to allow citizens and organizations outside the county government to discuss matters of importance to the board. First up, we have Mr. Justin Hensley, Chairman of the Central Virginia Community College Local Advisory Board, to introduce himself as the new chair.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Dr. Justin Hensley, and I get the opportunity to serve as chair of the Central Virginia Community College Local Advisory Board. I also have the honor of working closely with Dr. Jeff Garrett, who represents your constituents on our board, and I want to thank you for your ongoing support of education and workforce development right here in Appomattox County. I'm here tonight to reintroduce us and to strengthen the bridge between CVCC and this board. CVCC is your community college, serving students from Appomattox County through workforce training, academic programs, and dual enrollment. Whether it's a young person launching their first career, a parent retraining for a better job, or a high schooler getting a head start on college, we are here to serve. We get to tell our students, yes, you can. That message of encouragement, of possibility, is at the heart of what CVCC stands for. And I've been encouraging our board to take that same message out into our communities we serve, that CVCC isn't just a backup plan, it's a launch pad. I also have a unique understanding of rural communities. I spent nearly 20 years of my adult life in rural southeast Kentucky. If you can't tell by my accent, grew up in northeast Tennessee, and I know the challenges and opportunities that small towns face when it comes to education. Distance, transportation, and access can be real barriers. But that's where community colleges exist to remove those barriers and open doors, and that's what CVCC is doing right here in Appomattox County. And Appomattox County has done something remarkable in return. When our plans for welding and EMS programs were at risk after a partner organization had to withdraw, Appomattox County stepped in and saved the project, offering space in the Carver Price building at no cost to CVCC so that we could move forward with that. And that single act of partnership turned into what could have been a setback into a success story. So thanks to the county's support, along with funding from the Tobacco Commission and Go Virginia, those programs are becoming a reality, and they will serve citizens of this county for years to come. That kind of collaboration between local government, education, and industry is exactly what it takes to make community colleges work. It's what keeps opportunity local and ensures that people don't have to leave their hometowns to find good careers. CVCC serves thousands of students across the region each year, but what matters most to us is that we serve all of our localities, and that includes the people here of Appomattox County. Many of them are first-generation college students like myself. Some of them are parents balancing classes and full-time jobs. Others are veterans using their experience to transition into civilian life, but each of them represents a story of possibility and of the reason why the partnership between CVCC and Appomattox County matters so much. We're training the region's skilled workforce. We're helping high schoolers in Appomattox County graduate debt-free, parents retrain, and adults reenter the workforce to find stability and confidence. We offer short-term credentials, transfer pathways, and industry certifications, all close to home, all here for the people of Appomattox County. We also get to support local businesses with customized training programs that are built around real needs. So when a manufacturer or healthcare provider calls and says, hey, we need workers in these skills, CVCC is there to respond quickly. And and when that training happens here, that talent gets to stay here, fueling Appomattox County's growth and prosperity. CVCC isn't just a place where students get to go, it's a place where communities get to grow. Our classrooms are filled with your constituents, and our mission is tied directly to the health, success, and future of Appomattox County itself. Now, as chair of the local advisory board, I see firsthand how our faculty, staff, and leadership, what they have that passion for this community. And as your representative connection, I want to ensure that Appomattox County continues to have a strong voice at the table as CVCC grows and continues to meet future needs. And if we haven't been as visible in front of this board as we should have in the past, it's something I intend to change. You'll see more of us across the board, starting with me, because communication and collaboration is what makes partnerships like this thrive. And so we want you to be proud of what's happening at your community college. We want you to know that when CVCC wins, Appomattox County wins too. And I'll close with this. Appomattox County has been long known as a place of new beginnings. Over 150 years ago, this nation took steps towards healing right here in Appomattox County. And today, CVCC is proud to stand with Appomattox County as a place where new beginnings continue, where students of all ages start fresh, where careers are launched, and where communities grow stronger through education and opportunity. So thank you for your partnership, your leadership, and your continued investment in the people of Appomattox County. And together, we're building real futures for real people right here at home. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hensley. We want to recognize that Dr. Capps, president of CVC, is in the audience. Thank you for being here, sir. And I also want to say that I sit on the Workforce Development Committee, and I also enjoy what CVC does, and I see the work you're doing with the workforce development and getting our workers, new workers trained and older workers retrained in some new advancements. Was there any questions from the board for Mr. Hensley? All right, next up, Mr. Fred Pearson, assessor, who has requested to appear before the board to discuss the most recent assessment of Appomattox County properties.
Thank you very much. I'm Fred Pearson with Visions Government Solutions. We have completed all the appraisal work. We are in the process now, probably for the next week, of proofing the appraisals and just make sure everything's in line. And probably the next week we'll be putting together the notice and mailing the notices. So in the next couple of weeks, we hope to get the notices out. Based on 2024 and 25 residential sales, we're looking at an average increase between 60 and 70%. This will probably be the largest increase you've gotten in the last 40 years. I don't like getting large increases, but I have to reflect the market value. We only use sales from here in Appomattox County. I anticipate that you're going to have 3 to 4 times as many hearings if you've had in the past. It's going to take at least 2 full-time people here, probably 1 person on the phone. If it takes more, we'll bring more in to get the job done. And we do anticipate mailing the notices latter part of October, early November. There's going to be 3 ways that a taxpayer can appeal. He can call, make an appointment. I have 3 ladies on the phone setting up appointments. They have an in-person hearing where they come in and talk to an appraiser. They can do it over the phone, which we'll call and set up a time and date that we'll call them back. There can be a written appeal. Each one will have a date and time that appraiser will call them back. I welcome any information from property owners that's going to help us do our job better. I anticipate completing the hearings in December the 1st and sending out change or no change notices in December the 15th. It's our objective to listen to property owners, explain their appraisal, and just try to make sure everybody has a fair and equitable assessment. Usually no one knows more about a property than the person that owns it. After notices are mailed, we probably need to put something in the paper for people, know that the notices are mailed and kind of what the process is and the last day to call in to make an appointment. After I finish my hearings, and in 2026, you will have a Board of Equalization that people can appeal. We'll probably take care of 90% of those, but you still will have probably a large amount appealing. It's all due to the amount of increase. That's pretty much all I have. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board? All right, no.
Well, I can go home.
All right. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
update.
You have a nice evening.
All right, next up, we have Mr. Ed McMahon, the agricultural teacher for Appomattox County Public Schools, as requested to appear before the board to discuss the agricultural facility campaign. Welcome, Mr. Pearson, or Mr. McMahon, excuse me.
Good evening, Chairman Hinkle and Board. My name's Ed McCann, and it brings me great pleasure to be here with you tonight. I do have some slides prepared to kind of help guide my notes. I do wear a lot of hats, and by day, I'm one of the agriculture teachers, so I'm used to going bell to bell, so if I get going too long, just ring a school bell, and I'll know to wrap it up. But I'm here today. Like I said, I am an agriculture teacher. And I'm also here as the advisor for the Appomattox FFA Alumni Association. We have a large capital improvement campaign that we have been engaging in. We've entitled it the Agriculture Complex. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about it this evening and a little bit about our organization. And so agricultural education has had a long time tradition in Appomattox County. It actually was only a few years after our county was founded that we began teaching agriculture in our school system. And it wasn't but a few years later we went on to officially form the FFA alumni. Our organization is more than just students who wore the blue jackets that you've seen before you at past meetings. It's open to anybody who's a friend and supporter of agricultural education. Currently, our organization has 288 members that are here in the community, and we have many more who have been active at other times. And our mission is fairly simple, and that's that our members work to support and advocate for agricultural education and the FFA, and they do that. Different individuals donate their time, their financial resources, and talents to help see our students and our youth learn about one of the most important industries in our country, and that's producing the food and fiber that we use every day. One of the claims to fame of our organization, if you've never got a chance to visit, I hope one day you will, but behind Appomattox County High School, we own a property, we call it the Land Laboratory, and this is a resource that we provide to students at Appomattox County Public Schools where they can engage in real-world experiences. And so the property is depicted in orange there. You can see it borders many of the athletic facilities. And it's a place where students can apply the skills that they learn in the classroom because we believe in making sure that the students that come through our school system are equipped to solve tomorrow's problems. And we believe that learning by doing is one of the best ways to do that. Currently, the students at the facility manage a small herd of beef cattle, sheep, and goats, and pigs as well. And so we believe this tool is very critical in helping to equip students. And we hope that this project will help us elevate this resource to make it accessible to more people. So one thing about as I wrap up to talk about our organization, I want you to know that the FFA alumni has been a hallmark in our community, and that since its inception has provided many thousands of dollars of scholarships to graduating seniors. They help to fund the Land Laboratory so that it's a resource that the school students can use at no cost to the school system. They have helped to fund our award-winning FFA chapters as they go on to compete in national and state events, as well as they've worked hand in hand with groups like the school system. They were able to actually donate part of the Land Lab property so the softball team could have their scoreboard. And back before my time, they were very involved in helping to build some of the original buildings in the town park. And so we've been an integral part of the community, and we see that this project will be one way that we'll continue to do that. So that brings me to the primary purpose for why I'm here tonight, and that's the agriculture complex. We see this as a building that will be a multi-purpose building on the property there on the Land Laboratory, and we desire to partner with the county. And that is to capitalize for two reasons. Is primarily to capitalize on grant opportunities so that we can help to gather more funding to see this project become a reality, as well as we see as it an opportunity, being that we are in such a rural county, it'll be a primary place that we can provide agricultural programming, not only to the youth, but also to current producers, and those that are engaged in ag endeavors. And so with the vision for this, we realized that the property we own is very centrally located. It's extremely easy to access right there behind the high school. It is partially developed with water and also electricity. There is a large group of people that already use it. Currently, we're very proud that 20% of students in the school division are members of the FFA in an ag class. If you were to zoom in and look at just the high school, you're looking at between 1 in 4 and 1 in 3 students are in the FFA in ag classes that use this space. So we already have a large group of people that use it, and every year they're graduating and become part of our community. And so we see that we do have a prime resource that we can develop to offer more opportunities to the people of our county. And so we took this idea of here's what we have and tried to dream big on what we could do. And we wanted to develop a space that would not only develop that would fulfill the needs of today, but also the needs of tomorrow. We saw it as a space that we need to engage our community members. One of the things we've seen with agricultural events, being that many are on farms, it's hard to find a place that's accessible to everyone. And we see that this would be a space that would be able to do that. It would be flexible to accommodate different types of events. And at the same time, keeping safety and security paramount, being that this would be a space youth would use, but also our community members. Let's see. So the building that we are looking at building is a little over 12,500 square feet. It's essentially a 60-foot long pole barn with lean-tos on either side. It's very tall to accommodate a second story on part of it. There's a lot of different rooms. I'll show you a blueprint in just a minute. But one of the things that was geared definitely towards providing flexibility, but yet access, being that livestock agriculture is so prevalent, is to help provide a space where that would be accessible to both cattle, sheep, goats, and pigs. And so the process for this has not been a quick one. It's been one that's been thought through extremely well. It began with collecting lots of data and working with different parties with that. We conducted a needs assessment with not only school children, their parents, community members, producers, stakeholders in the industry. We took that data, we worked with several area contractors as well as an architect to take those ideas and put them on paper. We've since launched a very aggressive funding campaign that was initiated in December of 2024 and is carried on, and this is part of that initiative. And so this is a picture of what the barn would look like, or agricultural complex. And so the bottom or the top of the picture there, primary is going to have a large open space that would work to have different types of events, contests, workshops. There's room to house livestock there if we wanted to have livestock shows or sales. And then there's places for restrooms, office space, kitchenette, and places for youth to groom their animals, wash their animals, and so forth. We've been able to capitalize, and we've been very successful with our Young Entrepreneur Program by providing them that resource, and we hope that this facility will only galvanize that so we can see more students develop the real-world skills that they need. In June, we held a groundbreaking ceremony. We were very privileged. We had several board members were able to attend, as well as elected officials. We have broken ground. We're very pleased that our groundwork is almost complete, and it looks quite a bit different now from that picture. And so tonight, I'm here to formally request two different things. One is which we would like to partner with the county and submit VDAC's Agriculture Infrastructure Grant, and that grant has to come from a government entity, and we want to submit that grant for $50,000. And then secondly, that grant does require matching funds, and if it would be the will of the county, we would ask that you would consider providing matching funds for that. The matching funds are not, we don't want that to be the obstacle, and so if that is not the case, we will find a way, but we ask that you would consider providing up to $50,000 in matching funds for that grant. And so just to give you an idea, to set the stage for why we would ask for that, so far in 10 months, we've been able to raise $535,500. We have an additional grants in the works with preliminary costs, we worked with different contractors, and so just under $1 million is to get the building up. And so right now, we're sitting at 54% of our budget we've raised, and with the addition of the AFID grant and the other grants, that puts us quite up there to where we'll be ready to initiate construction. We do have fundraisers that are planned. We've had great success in a short amount of time, and we see that continuing. And this AFID grant that we're asking you to submit will be pivotal in us reaching our construction goals. We did get a grant from the Tobacco Commission, and so once we reach $800,000, we have cleared from them to be able to start construction. And so our timeline, pending our fundraising efforts, is that we feel like that we should be able to reach the point where we can initiate construction on phase 1 by the summer of 2026. Our goal would be to finish that by the end of 2026, so not long after, a year from now. And then that would give us one more year to fully equip that space with equipment, and then a grand opening in February 2028. And so that is kind of our timeline. And so just to kind of leave you with a few ideas as far as why we think this would be beneficial, first and foremost, it'll provide a very crucial place for not only FFA members, but 4-H members, as well as agricultural producers, to have access to current livestock handling space and equipment. It is centrally located, it's accessible, and it is designed for public use, which is not something we find very often. We do foresee it. We've had a number of groups that have already expressed interest that want to move their events to this facility as soon as we can get it open. And so we know that it's going to drive business, as we have people that come here just to use this facility, as well as we have foreseen groups that want to have livestock sales and events like that. And so we have people that want to use it. We have a captive audience with the students, 4-H and FFA members, and so we feel like it's going to be instantly well used and would be a bright spot for the county and for our community. And so, and furthermore, down the line, as we see this space growing in functionality and popularity, the idea that the potential employment opportunities as this space becomes more of a mainstay. And so with that, I do hope that you would consider submitting the grant, and also, if it be your will, to provide some matching funds. And so with that, are there any questions from the board?
Yes, what's the time frame on the grant? What's the due date that you have to apply for that grant?
So that due date is at the end, the AFID grant is at the end of October.
That's October of this month.
And the grant is, we have been working with the Tobacco Commission staff to get that grant completed. It's 90% complete. The grant part is done. It's just a matter of having somebody, it's got to have, like I said, a government entity's name on it to submit it, and essentially be passed through funds from you to the FFA alumni for the purpose, earmarked for the purpose of this construction project.
I was just trying to, get a timeline on, you're requesting a match, if that was something that we needed. If that would be worked into next year's budget or something?
The match could, as the way I understand it, the match is, we've got to get the grant first. And so the first and foremost item would be to apply for the grant. Right. And then secondly, if we could work that into the budget, I think that would be acceptable.
Any other questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to tell Mr. McGann that he's done a fine job over there in getting the students up to speed enough to go nationally. I just think it's absolutely marvelous that somebody from Appomattox has done this, and the students have had the opportunity to go forward with what they're doing in their learning area.
Well,
And we just want to let you know that you're doing a great job and continue the good work.
Well, thank you. I'd like to say I'm about like a turtle on a fence post. I didn't get up here by myself. And that's because of people that are here tonight, the FFA alumni, the community members that have been successful, that have endorsed us and supported our FFA program. And so we're very blessed to have great support. And with that, we have felt that, and that has helped us be successful. And so, thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Reverend Jones?
Yes, Mr. McCann, I'd like to also just commend you all for bringing a shovel-ready project here. You all are totally invested, and it's just amazing to see the work that you all have done, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Chip.
We're proud to have you here. We're proud for the work that you guys put in, and that $535,000,
Yeah.
and $500?
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's really, yeah, you know, I don't know what the breakdown of that is, but I'm curious what the private if you know the private donation.
So we've got in hand, I guess, and pledged. What's been pledged was not in that factor, but we're sitting at, with between our savings, what's been donated and what's been pledged, almost $200,000. And then the tobacco grant was $400,000. So, so that 535.5 is what we have on hand, including the Tobacco Commission funding. And so, it's been a project that has been widely supported, and we feel like it's just a natural partnership to partner with the county on this. And so that would be why we're here.
Thanks.
So,
Thank
Ms. Adams, do we need a motion from the board to authorize you to enter into the grant process?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make that motion.
All right, Reverend Jones has made the motion that we authorize the county administrator to co-partner the county with the grant. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Carter, second. Discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All righty, Ms. Adams, you're authorized to add the county to the grant. And thank you again, Mr. McMahon, and your students who just seem to perform outstandingly. All right, next up, we have Sherritt Richardson and Mr. Les Fleet, Commonwealth Attorney, requested to appear before the board to discuss domestic violence investigator grant.
Good evening, Chairman. Board members, thank y'all for having us up. It's kind of a fitting night to have a domestic violence conversation, and unfortunately, we're missing the visual they're having tonight because it's going on right now while we're having this board meeting. But while Mr. Fleet and I are here, we're here because we had a grant opportunity, kind of like the school. We're here because it's a matching grant. And what it's for is a 2-year grant for an investigator that would solely work domestic violence calls and sexual assaults. So just to put that in some numbers in perspective, just in the past 12 months, the Sheriff's Office has served over 680 protective orders. Technically, you're looking at 1,300, about 1,360, because you got to serve 2 parties on both for the protective orders. We've had 240 domestic violence calls and 22 sexual assaults. So just to run over kind of how a sexual assault occurs, once we get the notification of it, one of the things we've done through our training experience is limit the amount of times we talk to the victim, because the more times you talk to them, the more unfortunate times they have to relive this incident that's happened to them. So we'll send them to the CAC, which is in Bedford, for a forensic interviewer to speak with this individual while one of our investigators and sometimes one of the Commonwealth attorneys in the Social Services Department and cohorts goes up there and during the interview watches the interview and makes sure all the questions are properly asked that need to be asked and answers we get to make sure we can bring somebody to justice for the crime that's committed. The other thing is we have to send them to Lynchburg General Hospital to speak with a forensic nurse as well to put them through a PERT kit, which if we need forensics evidence, that's where it's collected at the hospital and then sent to the lab. So these things take time. And also, just I pulled some numbers. Our investigators are working 78 other cases right now. So to put your full and dedication into what needs to be put into a sexual assault for anybody that's gone through this horrendous crime, it's hard for them to give 110% effort when they're working on, we just had a shooting about a month ago. These other violent felonies that are occurring, they're trying to put 110% in all of this, and they're doing the due diligence they can, but there's so much more that could potentially be done in interviewing certain people to help the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. So what we did is we went out on the grant to see what was out there. There's other counties that were using this grant, and they're bringing in basically it's an investigator. They work solely with the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, and they're going to work just domestic violence calls and sexual assault calls. Mr. Fleet's going to speak in a second. He's got his assistant Commonwealth Attorney who works just the sexual assault cases that come in. So they would be working solely with his assistant with these cases to make sure that they're 100% looked into and bringing people to justice and need to be brought to justice.
Thank you for allowing us to speak. As the sheriff stated, I have a dedicated prosecutor for these sexual assault cases because they're not your typical cases you might realize. Short of a murder or a homicide, a sexual assault case is probably one of the most violent and life-changing crime that can occur to an individual. So therefore, it takes a lot more. It's a lot more labor-intensive, manpower-intensive to properly investigate these cases and properly prosecute these cases. In many cases, when we prosecute a case, we normally can meet with a victim or witnesses a couple of times before trial, and we can ask the Sheriff's Department to follow up on maybe gathering some more evidence or something like that. But for the most part, when a typical crime comes to our office, it's ready to prosecute, and it takes it takes a limited amount of time to get it up ready and go in and prosecute that case. With a sexual assault case, especially when we have sexual assaults against juveniles, which unfortunately Appomattox is seeing a plethora of these type of cases. We have, I believe we have 12 active cases right now of sexual assault cases that the prosecutor's office is in various stages with, and the vast majority of those, the victims are juveniles. Most of the perpetrators are adults. Some of them are also under the age of 18, but the vast majority are adults as far as suspects. A lot of times these juveniles, we have to work months, and sometimes we even have to wait a year or two before they're ready to even proceed to go to trial. Because as you well know, in our criminal justice system, you get one shot. And if you don't have the strongest case going forward, and you go in and the evidence is it falls short a little bit, and there's acquittal, it doesn't matter what comes in afterwards. And in fact, I tell people that at that point, the defendant can stand up and say, "Whew, got away with it," and there is nothing else we can do about it because they've been acquitted. Through our principle of double jeopardy. And so the dedicated prosecutor we have is my deputy, Kia Scott. She has a wealth of experience in this, and she does a phenomenal job. She knows exactly what kind of evidence is needed. She directs the investigator what's needed from the initial call through getting it ready to go to trial. As I stated, it is very, very labor intensive. And so, in fact, sometimes the investigators just kind of throw up their hands and scratch their head like, where am I going to get the time to do this? Where if we had a dedicated investigator for these types of cases, that's all that they would center their job on. They would be available if there was any downtime where they could assist the other two investigators with other jobs, but we don't anticipate that happening very often just because of the cases that we have. The sheriff gave you some statistics. The statistics I have, just in the domestic violence cases, we had 114 of those cases last year, and to date we have 94. So there's still a couple months to go. So, and unfortunately, things usually rev up during the holidays for various reasons. So I would not be surprised if that number is over that this year. As far as sexual assault cases over the last couple of years, Ms. Scott was able to give me 38 cases that the prosecutor's office has handled. Now, some of those have not gone to trial yet. Some of those may not ever go to trial, but we are working with victims to either get them into counseling or services to where they can be strengthened enough to be ready to go to trial at some point. And fortunately, in Virginia, there is no statute of limitations on felonies. So if it takes multiple years to get ready, then it takes multiple years to get ready. We have one case right now where the victim is 32 years old, but she was the victim of repeated sexual assaults from the age of 6 up to about the age of 16. She told family members at the age of 19, but unfortunately nobody believed her. So now, 13 years later, she's strong enough where she's able to come forward. And we've started the investigation. There is good evidence to show that these events did occur. So we are preparing that one for trial, but that's just a tip of the iceberg. So we would ask you, and the sheriff will go into more as to what we're asking for.
So, and also, we just got one that came in today that just, not the same way, but the person's an adult now, and they finally got the wit to be able to stand and come in and face it. So we had that come in today, so it's an extra one to put on these numbers, unfortunately. So this grant is for $100,000 over the next 2 years. The match will be $33,333 over the next 2 years. Unfortunately, ours was due today. We just couldn't get in here because the board meeting was today. It was due at noon today, so we went ahead and put in for it. But obviously, it's got to be a match grant. We'll just withdraw it if y'all decide not to go forward with it. But that's what we're here asking for today. Again, it's to be over the next 2 years to cover that person those hours, and it's 32 hours a week they'll be working.
So from what you need to know from us is if we're going to match the 30,
Yes, sir.
and would that be this fiscal year or next fiscal year?
It would go, well, we'd have to get approved for the grant first, which should find out around January of that.
Okay.
So I would assume that's going to be this fiscal year. I don't know the date that it'll go into effect. I assume as soon as we're awarded the grant, it'll go into effect. The other thing is finding somebody to fill the spot. So that's another hurdle we'll have to get over. It's just going to have to be somebody certified who can do these type cases.
Any questions from the board members? Mr. Hips?
Do you think it'll be difficult to fill a position at part-time?
Yes. Yes, and luckily there's some good investigators that are retired that have already been in talks with that are potential. They've done these type cases, so they're looking for part-time work since they're retired.
They would, excuse me,
Ms. Mike, Ms.
they
Adams?
would be considered eligible for benefits
Yes.
at 32 hours.
So the only thing, this is including FICA as well. So,
So is there a motion to approve submittal of this grant for the sheriff and the match down the road when it is needed?
Mr. Chairman, I make that motion.
Mr. Reverend Jones has made the motion to approve the grant for the sheriff and the 33K match. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Carter, second. Any discussion?
Just clarification. Is it 33 for 2 years?
yes.
So it's 16, some, whatever it is? Okay.
All righty. Call for a vote. Mr. Carter?
Aye.
Mr. Hips?
All right.
Reverend Jones?
Aye.
I vote aye also.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
Sheriff. And
Mr. Chairman, if you get about 5 more minutes, I could ask of y'all's time. There's 2 quick things that I would like to ask. We unfortunately had an individual who's leaving to go to a bigger agency to try to boost his education and everything and move up in the department. And we've also got another one leaving because him and his wife just had a child and his wife's going part-time. He can't afford the insurance as a family insurance, so he's going to leave. What I'm asking is, I know these vacancies are about to come open. These were not positions that were already approved from y'all for the $5,000 more for certified positions. But what I'm asking is, if I hire 2 certified people, could I get the approval of the board for $5,000 more for the certified people as we've done in the past couple of years? 5,000 more than base salary.
any questions? Ms. Adams, you got a comment on that, or?
I would suggest that if the board wants to put their blessing on it this evening, and once those positions are hired, then you could come and to have the funds appropriated. Would that work?
Sure, I just want to be able
Okay.
to know that I can negotiate that with people when they put in.
Someone want to make a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Carter's moved that we give blessing to the $5,000, what do we call it? Certification bonus?
Yes, sir. It's not a bonus, but a
Yep.
raise, I guess.
Raise, Is there a second?
That's second.
Reverend Jones, a second. Discussion? Reverend Jones, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Carter? Mr. Hips?
Aye.
I vote aye also.
Thank you. And the last one is not about money, which is a good thing. The last thing is we're starting a tryout program back up, if you haven't seen, it's for our seniors to bring them in. We're gonna be meeting the last Tuesday of every month, 10 a.m. at the community center. So I encourage everybody in the community to push the word out to our seniors. What it's for is to bring law enforcement back into the realm with the seniors since COVID kind of shut all that down. In hopes that monthly, if we meet, it'll save somebody from being scammed or something and keeping them up to date. So if you can push it out, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
I saw your notices on Facebook and that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. Next up is committee appointments. Attached for the board's review is consideration list of committee appointments whose terms have expired or will expire in 2025. And so I don't know if anybody has any, I think it's just for you to consider. Next 2 months, contacting these people, see if they'll continue to serve or look for replacements. Any questions for Ms. Adams from the board on that? All righty. Hearing none, we'll go to item 6, action item, Board of Equalization. Please consider the appointment of up to 5 members to serve on the Board of Equalization. Members should be broadly representative of the community, and at least 30% of the appointed members be commercial or residential real estate appraisers, other real estate professionals, builders, developers, legal or financial professionals, and at least one such member will sit in on all cases involving commercial, industrial, multifamily, residential program. Statute provides 4 alternate board members to be appointed. And I have 1 yes so far. Mr. Spud Allman has said yes, he would serve. Other than that, I keep getting no's. Has any other board member had any success?
Mr. Chairman?
Ms. Adams?
Mr. Wolfskill contacted me, and he had reached out to a gentleman that served on the last Board of Equalization, David Hicks. So he called him, and he did accept.
Okay, so we have 2 then. Do we have time to appoint no more next meeting? Or when's the deadline for appointing all these?
The next meeting will be fine. We just have to set up training, so they'll be ready in January.
Because I guess I was under the thought that all of them had real estate or financial experience, but it's only 30%, so, okay. That opens the pool a little bit. Any other questions about Board of Equalization? All right, next we have the resolution for the nurse practitioner, and Mr. Carter, would you be so kind as to read it?
Whereas, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Left my glasses at home again. Now I am blind. No. Whereas nurse practitioners, NPs, or advanced practice registered nurses who have masters and often decorative degrees and extensive clinical training in the diagnosis and management of common and complex medical conditions, and whereas NPs have served a critical role as trusted healthcare providers, educators, researchers, entrepreneurs, advocates, and healthcare leaders for decades, and whereas NPs work to expand healthcare across or access in communities across Virginia, promote health equity in care, and improve health insurance for all. And whereas NPs provide high-quality primary, acute, and specialty health care services while emphasizing health promotion, disease prevention, health education, and counseling, partnering with patients to improve their health. And whereas the confidence that patients have an NP-delivered health care is evidenced by the more than $1 billion visits made annually to NPs across the country. And whereas there are more than 431,000 licensed PNs in the United States, including nearly 20,000 licensed NPs in Virginia, and whereas more than 4,625 NPs in Virginia are practicing with autonomous licenses, thereby increasing access to patient care, excuse me, in the Commonwealth, and whereas more than 5 decades of research demonstrates the high quality of care provided by MPs, and whereas better utilization of MPs through modernized state laws and improved policy creates better health through a more accessible, efficient, and cost-effective and highly quality healthcare systems. Whereas the Appomattox County is proud to recognize and honor the NPs to tour our Commonwealth. Be it resolved that the Appomattox County Board of Supervisors does hereby declare November the 9th, November the 9th through the 15th, 2025, as Nurse Practitioner Week, in recognizing the countless contributions MPs have made over the past half-century and will continue to make the health and well-being citizens in the Commonwealth.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Reverend Jones's motion to approve, is there a second?
Sorry.
Mr. Hips has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is passed. Thank you, Mr. Carter, for bringing that forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, next up is the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes approval of all bills, minutes, supplemental appropriations, line item transfers, fund transfers. Any item on the county agenda shall be moved from the consent agenda at the request of any board member prior to the vote on the consent agenda. Items removed from the consent agenda shall be considered by the board individually in the order in which they were removed from the consent agenda immediately following consideration of the consent agenda. Is there any change to the consent agenda, or if not, let's take a motion to approve as submitted?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion to approve as is.
All righty, Mr. Carter's moved to approve the consent agenda as submitted. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Hips has seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, consent agenda is approved. Next up is the attorney's report.
I don't have anything at this time.
No report.
No, sir.
Have you been working?
I have, and the fact that I have nothing to report usually is a good sign.
All right. Ms. Adams, administration report.
Yes, sir, you have a copy of the report before you, as well as I emailed you a copy this afternoon. It's a lot of data on here from all the departments. A couple things I wanted to point out were the signage project on the courthouse square. That's one of the ARPA fund projects, so you'll notice that we'll have a map of the campus and identifying all the buildings located on the campus. Every day, we have people in our parking lot looking for the court. And we have to redirect people all the time. So hopefully, this will provide some guidance, and we were able to use ARPA funds to pay for that. There's also upcoming events under the community engagement, Teresa Davis. You may want to notate some of those dates that you or your family wish to attend. And also pay attention to the facilities committee that the certificate of occupancy was not issued until this past Friday, and that's why we weren't able to use the boardroom tonight for the board meeting. Hopefully in November, we'll be in our new location. Also, we're meeting with the Treasurer and Commissioner of Revenue, and this is relative to the conversation we had at the October 7th meeting. Moving down the Historical Railroad Festival, we had a great weekend. It was a huge success, as always. We had over 150 vendors, more than 125 parade entries, and a large attendance throughout the entire weekend. And the committee wishes to extend their appreciation to the Board of Supervisors for their annual contribution of $10,000 and for always supporting the festival and use of the properties. Other than that, the sports complex, the Woodman of the World donated benches. So we appreciate Rodney Diener and Alan Austin, and we had a photo op with them, and that will be in the Woodman of the World newsletter. That's all I have. Any questions for me?
Any question of the board? Guys, comment that there's some flyers in the back of the room on the one table for the events going on at the museum, the Civil War Museum, the cannon firing, and also the Ghost Walk tour. So there's some flyers back there that people can pick up. All right, school financial reports attached. Next up is supervisor concerns. This is time for individual board members to share information with other members of the board and the public. Items presented under this heading require action. Will be ready for a future meeting agenda or to request additional information from staff members. No item presented under this heading shall be acted upon at this meeting without unanimous consent of the board. Mr. Carter, any?
Mr. Chairman, I am very happy to say that, as Ms. Adams stated, that the railroad weekend, it was beautiful, weather-wise, except for Sunday. Ran it through some raindrops then and all. But speaking overall, I think it was such a success, and it's only due to one, that you always have to say the citizens of the county attended, supported. But the main thrust is that committee. I tell you right now, I think y'all start again back in January, and that's a committee I don't think I could commit to. It's just too much. Oh, y'all are something else, and everybody that's on that committee really needs to be praised, because this is something that this community, this county, this town can really be proud of. And, you know, I love the people that say, the naysayers, if you will, I ain't going on railroad day. It's the same old thing every year. You know, well, fine, stay home. But the rest of us that enjoy it, let us enjoy it. And again, what a successful festival we had. And thank you. And upon saying that, Mr. Chairman, I think I better shut up.
All right. Mr. Hips?
I just think we should probably mention that the 60 to 70% increase in the assessment value of property does not translate to a 60 to 70% increase in taxes. I mean, people need to be allayed of that fear. By law, we're required to equalize the amount, so you can't have your reassessment equal a tax increase. So we have to equal that to be no more than 1% of the total valuation. So that would all be brought down. There would be a slight increase that's felt by it, but it would be nowhere near 60 to 70%. And I think the bigger concern might be your insurance, your homeowner's insurance rates on the new assessed value, would go up. Of course, we don't control that. And, by no means do we want people to be, underwater or anything on any of that. So just to say that we don't want an increase either. And that's just, by law, we had a property tax or a property value assessment has to be done. We stretch it out as far as we can to 6 years. It has to be done every 6 years. Some counties do it more often. And it costs a lot of money to do the assessments, so we do it as least, in least frequency as we can, so.
Reverend Jones?
Yes, I have a comment to make. Sammy don't think bad of me, but I have not been to the Railroad Festival
Oh.
for years. But I attended this year, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I get to talk to kids in the middle school, high school as well, and I asked them, "Are you going to the Railroad Festival?" "Yes, I'm going to the Railroad Festival." "Are you going?" But anyway, I just like to commend that committee for the work that went into the Railroad Festival. Again, I hadn't been in some years, and I was just amazed. It just blew me away at all that was going on during the Railroad Festival. And one of the things that I've been doing, I've been going to all the churches in my constituency in Piney Mountain, all the churches, as part of my reelection campaign. And I was at Jordan Baptist Church, Stanley Baker's church, and he was commending the young people who came from Jordan Baptist Church to clean up. And I looked at all those kids that were singing on the choir, and they, after all these thousands of people are gone, the volunteers came in from the church, and they were cleaning up. And so it's just, I like to thank all the volunteers as well, but just job well done.
Thank you, Reverend Jones and Mr. Carter. I know I guess Corey Osborne's the new president of the Railroad Festival, is that right? And he and I did some talking, and one of his heartaches is the people that came up to him in the festival that, were complaining. And he said, well, we only got 5 people in charge here. If you think something needs to be fixed or whatever, please join the committee. We can use you. And it takes more than just 5 people to run that railroad festival. So if you got any interest at all, get with Corey or get with Miss Adams and find out, hey, how can I be part of that committee and work, rather than being one of the people to sit back and say, well, why didn't they do it this way? All righty, other than that, I have a report from the Central Virginia Workforce Development Board, and basically, we partner with CVCC, as Mr. Henderson had stated, and they had a job fair early October, had 325 job seekers show up. 19 employees were represented there, and there was one company that is already hired about 15 people from that jobs fair. So if you missed it, I tried to get it out there I know we had it posted on our Appomattox County website so people could find it. There's been 300 visits from Appomattox residents to the workforce development for help. 11 went through the orientation course. Some of them are in from the dislocated worker force. Dislocated is where, hey, I got laid off from my job, I need a new one, but maybe I need training. That's what workforce is all about, is getting those people trained for a new job if necessary. Also, we have Career Link at CVCC, and I wish Mr. Henderson had pointed that. But right now, what it is, it's internships. And right now, there's 12-week internships, 6-week internships, 2 different things where companies work with CVC to put high school students, college students, where they want to thinking about a job. They work as an intern with that company, and there's benefits to both the employer and the student for that. So it's November, December is when you start searching. December and February is when you do your interns. And it's a good program. Go to the CVCC website or ask your school counselor. The counselor at Appomattox High School is well aware of this program. Can't remember her name right now, but is aware of it. So get into it. It's a good program. And I have nothing else. Mr. Hips? Oh, thanks. Mr. Carter?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to announce, all rise.
All righty.